I don't cut much weight, if I'm honest, mate.
No.
I'll probably have like by the time I cut weight on a Wednesday, probably about 4 or 5 pounds. So it's all bliss, like.
Oh, fairly easy that. Like,
Yeah,
what's
stay
your
active, then, innit?
yeah? What's your week look like at this point? And have you sorry, at this point in the week, what's your sort of training camp like?
I weighed this morning before training. I was like 71 kilos. So I'm only 66 in it with the weight allowance. So it'd be easy. Can I swear on you?
Yeah,
Yeah, it'd
obviously
be a piece of piss, like.
it's fair to say you had like obviously quite an extensive amateur career as well.
Mhm.
Um, how did you get started in the sport? I heard it was in kickboxing. Is that true? And if so, how did
Yeah,
you get
well,
started?
yeah. So I joined an amateur boxing gym when I was 9, just so I wouldn't get bullied, and I just left alone basically, and just ended up taking over. Ended up training every day, going to the Welsh Championships, becoming a finalist, and that. I've done that twice, and then I got a bit bored of the boxing, and when I hit around 11, 12, started kickboxing. Done the same, and now I was winning like taking gold in like local tournaments and that across Britain. And then I just evolved in that from kickboxing. Then I went to K1. Then from K1 to MMA. And
Yeah,
now I'm one-on-one pro, trying to keep it going. Like, so now I'm enjoying the ride so far.
you said about worrying about bullying. Is that something like to do with where you're from, or is it just wanted to feel a bit more confident?
Well, when I was born in Cardiff, in Splot. And I got a funny story, actually. I remember being like 6 or 7 on my bike. I remember getting punched outside a shop at that age. And then from even ever since I got punched and I ran off because I didn't know how to defend myself. So ever since then, it kind of ticking in my mind since a kid, like, oh, I don't want this to happen again. Then my mum ended up moving me and my brother to Porthcawl when I must have been, if I was 9. Yeah, it must have been about 8, 9. And the schools down there were a lot nicer. There was a lot like nicer boys, nicer kids, not so much bullying and that. But even still, I just wanted to, like, if someone started on me, I could look after myself. Do you mean? And it just escalated. Then I started watching the boxing and started just getting involved with it all, and I've loved it ever since.
Yeah, who punched you? Like, first of all, was it a grown adult or?
Oh no, no, it was about a kid like maybe like a year or two older than me. He was
All right.
I was outside the shop with my mum's change, and he was like, "Oh, can I have your change to go get some sweets?" And I was like, "No, I'm giving it back to my mum." And then he said to me, he was like, "Oh, if I don't give him the money, he'd rob my bike." I said to him, "Oh, try it," or something like that. And I just remember him clocking me in the nose, and I just chucked in the change and ran off on my bike. Like, so try and prevent that from happening again.
Yeah. I was thinking he was going around punching kids in Cardiff, like.
I know, innit?
Yeah. No, because
Yeah,
it's funny because like at the minute I'd say you have more of a grappling sort of focus to your fighting. Is
hmm
how did that sort of evolve from a striking background then?
Well, with the striking, I started training with Brett Johns. Probably familiar with the name Brett Johns, and he's one of the best fighters to come out of Wales. Started training with him. Then I started training down this gym, CRA in Swansea by me, but it was just like a proper grappling gym. So my grappling was gonna get good. It had to get good. Do you know what I mean? So I started grappling and that, and then like in some of my earlier fights, I don't know if you noticed this, but like amateur MMA normally ends up going to the deck, doesn't it? Like with the amateur MMA fights, normally like a little scuffle, and then boom, someone shoots a takedown. So if I wanted to do well in MMA, I had to get good at grappling. So I spent a lot of time on my grappling, evolving that, getting it better. And I find if your grappling is better than someone, it's easier to get a win there. So like I'm quite well rounded as well. So if there's a fight that needs, if I can't take someone down,
I think
or if I need to keep it standing, I'm
I
quite
think a
comfortable
problem
in
as well
all
with
areas.
like I think problem as well with a bit of like some of the amateur fights is if you've only got to score sort of maybe like one takedown at the start of the round, and like
Exactly,
and
especially like the
three minutes
amateurs.
can be up just like that, can't they? Like just on the ground and that person's one just having top control.
100%. Like the amateur fights, is like it feels like more of a race than a pro. It's more of a fight, as in like 3 5 minute rounds. You can like set traps, different type of feints for later on in the fight and stuff like that. But with an amateur MMA fight, it's like you said, it's 3 minutes, so it's like a race, isn't it? So you need to score the most in those 3 minutes to win the fight. And normally, a couple of strikes to a takedown, bit of ground and pound, advancing the position. The 3 minutes is up like that, and you've won that round. So I think for the scoring point, especially in the IMAF as well, I think like if you want to take less damage and stuff, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, you look like you were in a race in your latest fight with Marcus Lewis. Like, looked pretty possessed when you come out the gates there. Like,
Yeah, well, yeah, the Marcus fight, I took it on like I think it was like 6 or 7 days notice. I was in the gym and my coach rang me. He said, "Oh, do you want to fight a lightweight?" And I was like, "Yeah, because do you know what I mean? I'm keen. I'm active. Back in the amateur days, I like to be active. So as a pro now, I want to be active. So I took the opportunity, and I knew Marcus was a really good striker. So I just thought, oh, 2 seconds, sorry. Hello,
you're back
I'm
again.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry about that. My old man trying to ring me. But so yeah, no, Mark was a really good striker. So when I shot in on him, I could feel like the size of him on the lightweight as well. I could tell he was a bit bigger than me. But I grapple with big, strong boys on a daily basis. So when he gave me the opportunity to take his back and I got my body lock in, I was confident I was going to get a finish some way or another from that position.
were you surprised he sort of tapped when he did? Because you weren't quite under the chin, were you? I don't think you were sort of just over it.
No, to be fair, I like to try and crank the chin with my chokes, like so. I remember like I could peel the grip under, got my right down under his chin, and he rolled, and then I felt the squeeze, and I think you do a bit of training yourself. You know, when you feel like you've got that squeeze, sometimes you are the submission, you know you've got it. So
Yeah,
when I just got, it was more of like across the chin. It felt like so I just squeezed in tight as I could. I would have took his chin off if it had to be.
yeah,
So they tapped, thankfully.
yeah. You said about like fighting fairly frequently, but you already thought, yeah, both your pro fights have been this year, haven't they? And obviously with
Yeah,
your
yeah.
third one coming up, like fighting as frequent as you do, is that something you've like carried over from amateur? Is that something you want to keep doing? I mean,
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I'd want if I could get 4 or 5 fights in 5 fights is a bit ambitious, but especially these earlier pros, if I can get 4 fights in a year and just start building my record up, that would be ideal for me. And I feel it's like when I'm at my best as well, is when I'm the most active.
yeah.
So
What
yeah,
what's some of the,
definitely like to keep it going.
what's some of the advantages then to just like do you feel like you build up a bit
Um,
of a
I don't know. It feels like it's more of a common thing. So when I had the first fight at the beginning of March, because of COVID and all that, I was out for like a year and a half, and it just felt like not alien, but the second time round I came in and walked into Cage Warriors, it just felt like I was at home. So I feel like the more I fight, the more comfortable I am in the cage. Like so, that's just my way of doing it. I think.
yeah. I suppose as well, maybe not having to cut as much weight, like you said, it's perhaps a bit easier.
Yeah, I'm not.
Be often being in fight camps.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can take these short notice fights if you're not a big weight cutter. Like some boys, they can't take a fight on like 2, 3, 10 days notice because they gotta make weight like at the end of the day. So but I'm fortunate for where I think my body at the minute is at that point where I can do it. So it's not a big problem.
Yeah. Obviously fought in like quite a few different promotions as well during your amateur career. Would you be able to like
Mhm.
take us like a few of them like fighting at the IMAFs as well?
Yeah. So the IMAs, man, they were crazy experiences. I went to the World Championships in 2017. Ended up getting whooped by some American wrestler, so that was a good lesson learned. Then I went out to Romania for the European Games a second time, beat an Austrian, and then ended up beating to lost to the gold medalist from Ukraine in the second round. So like every time I've lost in these IMAs, I've always lost to the winner. But the most recent one, 2019, I ended up taking bronze, which, if I'm honest, I thought I'd done enough to get into the finals. I've watched that fight back a couple of times, and I thought I'd done enough to get a decision, but that's just, it is what it is, and it's fighting at the end of the day. But no, it's cool because like Bahrain, Romania, these are places you don't go to them places on holiday, really do. So it's like I've got to see a bit of the world, doing what I love. So yeah, man, I can't complain. It's pretty sick.
Yeah. Obviously, Tobias Arilla as well was a fairly notable win on your amateur record.
Yeah. Tobias, man, he's a beast. We had a hell of a scrap, to be fair. The boy's got power in his hands. You can see that pro the way he's knocked the boys out in it. But yeah, no, at the time as well, Tobias was ranked number 1 amateur in the world, so that was a good win for me. That was, and But just being in the cage with someone like the bias, he's brings you on a long way. Like he's a good fighting style. He likes to get up in people's faces and that, like, so it's a good to test your mettle against him. And no, it was good. It was a good experience fighting him. I like him and his team and all that. They're all a bunch of good lads. Like every time I see the bias, we shake hands and that. He's a good fighter. But he's a bit far of me at the minute at the pro ranks. I think he's 9-1, I'm 1-1. So I doubt I'll be seeing him anytime soon at the minute. Like, but no, he's smashing it. I think he's got potential to be Cage Warriors world champion at the minute. He's doing really well for himself. Bit gutted for his last fight, but I'm sure he'll be back without a doubt.
Yeah, because you've already got like so many fights behind you as well before going pro and like across like various different promotions. Does it feel like quite natural to you stepping into the cage? If you know what I mean, do you feel less pressure because of it?
Yeah. Well, the thing is there's always going to be pressure. At the end of the day, you're always nervous. It's just how you handle the nerves. So you can either let them turn you into an emotional wreck, or you can just realize you're going to do what you want to do. You get to perform, show your skills off in front, especially fighting on Fight Pass on Cage Warriors. I mean, potentially could be millions watching. We don't know who's watching, So I just like the fact that I train hard every day. So the chance of going to show off my skills, that's what I look forward to the most.
Yeah. How come you decided to go pro when you did then at the start of this year?
Well, it would have been back before COVID. But obviously COVID hit and there was nothing going on, was there? There was no fighting at all for anyone at the time. So I was lucky enough under my coach Richard Shaw. He got me into Cage Warriors. So if I'm honest, mate, I'm just training hard, just trying to get a fight in, like just trying to build up my record and then just see where it takes me.
Yeah. What do you reckon to a Maniac and then coming into it?
He's a good fighter, man. He's been quite on like the amateur scene as I was going up. I was going to like fight shows and I'd see him there, like he'd be fighting on the card and he's a well-rounded fighter. He's a dangerous fighter and he's an unpredictable fighter. So but I'm confident in my abilities in every aspect to try and nullify him. But yeah, no, I respect him. No bad word to say about him. He's a good fighter. But on the night I plan on taking him out, as I'm guessing he's going to try and do to me. So it's the first one to do it, isn't it?
Yeah. I hope you don't mind me saying, but I'd sort of watching yourself and Ben Ellis, I'd say you have sort of quite similar fighting styles. If you not sure if you agree, but like sort of quite a focus on your wrestling and grinding your opponent down against the cage. Is that something you would agree with?
Yeah, no, yeah. Me and Ben do fight. Like we like to wrestle. We like to grapple. I do
obviously
quite a bit
the
of
question
training
from
with
there
Ben.
is what would you do differently from Ben? That
I think the thing with that fight, it's like something Manny done well, which was like he does that quite a lot. He breaks and throws a spin, then he. It's just one of them things, man. It's MMA. We're fighting in a cage. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like if Ben was a couple of inches away, he would have missed a shot. Like, do you know what I mean? If he was a couple of inches forward, the shot wouldn't have hit him anyway. So it's like it's one of them. There's no one of them things you can dwell on. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like not a freak accident because Manny did aim to throw and took Ben out, but it's just one of them. I don't see any point in focusing on that, if I'm honest.
yeah, like Manny has quite a bit of a unique style as well. He often likes to pull guard, doesn't he, and go for arm bars and triangles off that.
Yeah, instead of like wrestling, like I suppose instead of like defending takedowns, he's not scared to jump on submissions and stuff like that. So which makes him dangerous.
Yeah.
Go and mind your P's and Q's. Right?
You have been watching a lot of his tapes of his previous fights.
No, I don't really like to watch tape of my opponents. Purely just because I want to focus on what I'm going to do. I think like you watch too much of them, you're in the fight and you're watching, and is he going to throw this? Is he going to throw that? There's no point in focusing on that. I'm just going to go and do me.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm not a big fan. I'll maybe watch a little bit, like, but I'll just leave it to the coaches and that.
Yeah. Do they do you leave it to your coach then to sort of decide the focus for your camp coming into it for each opponent, or do you sort of keep it general for each opponent?
Yeah, they'll normally yeah, they'll normally watch and then just say like, all right, but these are the favorite areas to beat this boy, and then I'll just in fight and just focus on doing that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you
So
like
that's normally the protocol.
yeah? Do you like being in Cage Warriors at the minute? Do you sort of see yourself going quite far in the promotion?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, you've got to take your fight as a time because it's a mad sport, but it's where I want to be. And if you look how many people get signed to the UFC from Cage Warriors and stuff like that, the amount of breakout stars that come through, like my last win when I won by rear naked choke, when they posted up on Instagram, it had like 17,000, 18,000 views or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So the platform is on to be fighting on Fight Pass and that as well. It's next level. Like, and I love it. I do. The walkout and everything, like the arena, there's going to be fans in this one, which is going to be sick. So, no, it's going to be a banging experience. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, Marcus was a good opponent as well, wasn't he? Obviously, being a Cage Warriors Academy champion, I believe. I think he was.
Yeah, we both held the same belt,
Yeah,
which is quite cool, isn't it? So, like, that's quite mad.
yeah. So UFC's the goals then.
I think it's every fighter's goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be
Would you say?
fair,
Well,
but
I speak to some people who say they'd like the look of Bellator instead.
yeah, do you mean it's like whoever pays the most? Probably what their fighter's gonna go to. Like, but no, they're both big promotions in a Bellator and UFC. I just, I'm not really one of these people who like try to proper think about the future or how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do that, because none of that matters until you do what you're doing, what's in front of you. If you know what I mean. So like none of this stuff really matters until all I really focus on is money. Then after that, there'll be another fight. There'll be another fight, and then the next, I'll get signed. Do you know what I mean? So that's just keep my eyes on the ball.
Yeah, just taking each fight as it comes.
Yeah, I'm quite good. I know it sounds quite cheesy, but like living quite in the moment with things. I could just take things day by day, just train hard, do what I got
Yeah,
to do for that day, onto the next day. Just keep it ticking that way.
yeah. What's your training routine look like for it, like each week? Do you sort of are you at Shore MMA every single day or?
Yeah, pretty much. So I'll take you through now. It's like a Monday morning we'll do a S&C. Then I'll go up to Shakey's, show mixed martial arts to be MMA sparring and no-gi grappling. Tuesday and I'll go back down to show martial arts, do a Thai private with my Thai coach. Then do Thai that evening. Wednesday then, this morning was like an MMA practice down show martial arts. Tonight I'll do some shoot boxing. Thursday end, MMA sparring again, then wrestling. Friday weights, and then MMA wrestling. And Saturday, Sunday off. I can't wait for Saturday and Sunday. My
Yeah.
favorite days of the week.
Do you think it's pretty important having them rest days each week? Like
Yeah,
recovery.
the body, your body just can't do it otherwise. Do you know what I mean? It's hard for your body to hold up doing this sport, as in like, because a lot of body contact. You a lot of grappling, a lot of sparring. It is heavy on your joints and your body. So I think like just a day or two just to recover, rest, and then boom, get back to it. Then
Yeah.
have a week off after the fight, and then go again, ready for the next one.
Yeah. Obviously, like you said, going like 5 days. But like you said, sorry, being hard on your joints. Does that mean you can't go 100% for each session? Do you sort of have sessions where you're like, well, I need to sort of tone it down a little bit for this?
Uh, so our coach Shaky is good. Like I suppose if he sees us all fucked, he's not going to make us do like 8 5-minute rounds of sparring. We'll do more like ground and pound grappling or stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So it's not all heavy contact each session, but it is still a grind. Like, do you know what I mean? And like fighters, I find like we always pushing ourselves anyway. So even if it's meant to be a like technical session, there's a bit of sparring, a bit of grappling, and especially if you've got a fight coming up, you want to be on your A game. So that don't normally happen. You end up going balls to the wall either way. Like so.
Start off taking it light, and then it just gets a little bit higher, and a little
Yeah.
bit.
You hear
Yeah,
Shaky saying, "Keep it down, calm it down." But nah, it's all good. Like it's all fun.
yeah. Training like obviously 5 days a week, like you were saying, like but taking it very seriously, like it is a full time
Oh yeah,
job.
I'm not messing around with it. Like I'm giving it my all, 100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get a prediction off you for your fight in a few weeks' time?
Oh, prediction. I see me winning. How? Potentially a submission. I don't want to say what submission. Like I'll keep that to myself. But no, I'm sure. Like I said, man, he's a great fighter. He's a solid opponent. I'm sure it's going to be a good scrap. Like
Is there
two
a few
young
submissions
boys.
you've been specifically working on then?
I can't tell you what I know, can I?
No.
Even if I was. But no, I don't know. He's a good grappler as well. So but I do see me like getting to a dominant position and hopefully finishing it from. But like I said, we'll see now September 30th, and I've got a tough boy ahead of me. So just need to go in there and get the job done.
Yeah, you're both really exciting fighters to watch. I'm looking forward to it, mate.
Cheers, mate. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Nice
no,
one.
appreciate you coming on, mate.
No, thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, cheers, man. I'll catch you in a bit.